I think one of the things that you hear when you're opening up a restaurant is that you can either be profitable or you can care about your employees. And I think one of the first things we learned is that one doesn't have to come at the expense of the other, and you don't have to sacrifice your employee kind of wellness or welfare just to be profitable.
So I'm Rob Gillespie.
And I'm Lindsay Moriarty.
And we're the owner of Monuts here in downtown Durham. We're a living wage shop. We've always paid a living wage to every employee. On top of that, we also give everyone 2 weeks paid time off every year, and we also allow anyone that's full-time, which is 30 hours or more each week, to join our group health insurance plan.
Hi, my name is Amelia. I am the front of house manager here at Monuts. I had previously worked as a freelancer before I started working for Monuts, so that was, job to job, paycheck to paycheck. The cost of living in New York is very high, and I never really knew if I was what my next job was going to be. So to come here, this is the first time in my life I've had a salary, and the first time in my life that I've had employer provided health care. I now own a house instead of renting, so it's been a really nice change to be here and have the sort of stability that a living wage job can provide.
We kind of got into the business of owning a restaurant kind of sideways, I guess. We both have backgrounds, art, restaurant people. I was a PhD student in biochemistry at Duke, and Lindsay was a grad student at UNC in public health and also city planning, a dual master's program there.
The catalyst was me not being able to find a job after I graduated, and until that kind of materialized for me, I was like, well, I can sell donuts off my tricycle at least to pay the bills until I find my dream job. And then Monuts just kind of got bigger and bigger, and that's what led us to opening up the shop. At the beginning, I think just being like the nervous person and like very data driven. I want to make my decisions based on evidence. There's not a lot of evidence that says that restaurants can pay a living wage and still be successful. I feel like we're at this giant test case of whether or not we can do it.
The really kind of funny or even just sad thing is just the number of other restaurants in the town that have just told us that, oh, that's impossible, you're never going to make a profit, you're never going to be successful. And I think, you pay all your employees $8.50 or $9.50 an hour because that's what you do. And so it kind of is a cycle that keeps going forever.
Yeah, I think that's been one of the most encouraging things is how many different business owners come to us, and they certainly, I think at the beginning, were very kind of skeptical of like, oh, who are these kids? They don't know what they're doing. But once they see it working, they're like, how do you do that? And so seeing that question shift from being very negative to wanting to know how they can do it for themselves, I think that's been one thing that I've really enjoyed.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing too is just direct, end of the day, we have 17 employees, all that make a living wage, who are moving down to 9th Street to a bigger shop, and we're going to be hiring another 25 or 30 more that are all going to have a living wage. So it's, like the traditional restaurant model of how much you pay your employees is predicated on not paying them a living wage. And, it's just time to change that model and show that it's doable.